people joining us this morning on the call. Welcome to all of you. My name is Karen Hill, and I'm a double diamond up here in London, Ontario, Canada. So a couple hours outside of Detroit, a couple of hours outside of Toronto, for those of you that are not familiar with Ontario. And I want to start by thanking Debbie Callahan. I heard you on the line in the introductions, Debbie, for hosting this call last week. I know that it was a huge stretch and a jump outside of your comfort zone to do that, and I started receiving texts and messages that you did an absolutely fantastic job. I think probably moments after the call was completed, although I was in the air. It was a few hours before I landed. As soon as I landed, they all started beeping at me. So congratulations for doing that and stepping out of the comfort zone. And for those of you that are on the phone, there will probably be times that I will be looking for others to step out of their comfort zone to host this call. And certainly the topic that she talked about, keeping journals, is something that I have been talking about for a long period of time. It is certainly something that I do on a daily basis. It's the piece that allows you to consistently be there for every appointment. It's the piece that allows you to follow up and follow through with every single person that crosses your path to make sure that they are able to get the information that they need to make a decision. So thanks, Debbie, for doing that. Very much appreciated. As you heard on the call last week, I was in San Diego attending the second event. My first event was when I was brand new pretty much last year, the Chairman's Club event down in Florida. It was for Emeralds and Above at that point in time, and many of you know at the event in October we introduced the new Diamond Club, and the interesting thing, we increased the requirements, so you had to be Diamond this year instead of Emerald, but we literally over doubled the attendance, which is kind of exciting. That shows you just another indicator of how tremendous the growth has been over the last year within this company, and I'm pretty much sure that we'll probably have a 500 in attendance at the upcoming event next year. So for all of you that are on the phone, if you haven't already put it on your goal board, it would make sense, since you're on a gold diamond call, to put the goal of attending this retreat or this event next year. I can tell you that it's first class both times that I've been there. It's an all-expense paid trip for you and your significant other. Your flight, your hotel, your meals, they picked us up in a limo. There's been an opportunity to do some first-class lifestyle. So you all hear about the balance of living life unlimited, and one of those is really getting a chance to have some time freedom. And so that's one of the days we're out there, an opportunity to go to the spa, spend the day in the spa, go sailing, golfing. In fact, last year was the first time that my husband, and he's been golfing since he's 12 years old, it was the first time that he ever golfed with his own personal caddy. And many of you on the phone will have never experienced that, and it's a thrill to be able to do something like that and to be able to golf some of the most spectacular golf courses in North America, and the same was true this year. We had a wonderful room with a balcony overlooking the yacht club. Certainly, we were picking out boats that were much larger than the boat that we currently own, so we were stretching our lifestyle goal as we were sitting over top of this beautiful yacht club and sitting out on the balcony. Sunshine, it was just an absolutely fantastic event, and probably the most significant piece, and I want you to all put this into your goal board and into your mind, because really achieving goals is about visualizing them. And so many of you on the phone were at the event in October where we had 4,000 people. I mean, it was a huge convention room, and there were people and people and people, and often you knew people that were there, but you never ever bumped into them. There were so many individuals, and when we get to the event that's coming up in September this year, so those of you that didn't hear that announcement the other night. The event will not be in October. It'll actually be in September, the 20th to the 27th of September in Salt Lake City. We'll probably have even more. And so it's really hard to interact with the leaders. When you're looking at the event, this Diamond Club event, it's a very small, intimate group. You're sitting with Crown Diamond elites at your table at dinner time. What a huge opportunity, not just to interact with them at dinner, but in the hallways, in the elevators. You may be rooming right beside them. It's a very intimate event where you can hang with the leaders. And one of the things that I was told early on in my career was, hang out with those people that are successful. They will rub off on you. So if you don't have this Diamond event on your goal board, I would suggest that you do some adjustment on that goal board and start putting it on there and start living and breathing the idea that you will be there next January. Wherever we may be, I'm sure it'll be warm, and I'm sure that it will be exciting. So I want to talk about a skill this morning, and it's a skill, some of you may have heard this skill talked about before. It's the skill of the 3-foot rule. Well, what does the 3-foot rule mean? It means that anyone that comes within 3 feet of you is going to be a prospect or an opportunity to share what Zija has. And so there are some steps to being able to put in place this 3-foot rule. So the first step is, when you're out and about, is literally making eye contact. For some of you, you don't make eye contact. You're out and about, and maybe you're at the grocery store, you're just eyes down, looking at the cart and the things that you're putting into the cart. The first step is to make eye contact. The next time you get on an elevator, to make eye contact. And so if you find that you struggle to interact with people when you're out and about, that first step is literally to make eye contact with individuals. So I challenge you to accomplish that first step. The next time you're out, make sure you make direct eye contact with 10 individuals. So get your head up and get looking directly into their eyes, even though you don't know them. So that's the first step. The second step to the 3-foot rule skill is smiling. So take it one step further. Make eye contact and smile at those individuals. So eye contact is the first step. Smiling is the second step. Anyone want to guess what that third step will be? Well, now we're going to open up our mouths and we're going to say hello. So step 1 is eye contact, and sometimes we just have to go out and practice eye contact. That's the first, it's such a stretch out of our comfort zone to interact with people that we don't know when we're out in the grocery store, or when we're standing in line at the bank, or when we're in that elevator and the doors close and there's you and one other person. It's a stretch. So making eye contact will be the first thing that you practice, and then moving on to step 2. So you're making eye contact and then you're smiling at the person. And then step 3, you're saying hello. And so if it's a stretch for you to interact with people on a regular basis, just practice those without going any further for the upcoming week. If you're already doing some of those, then the next step and the final step is step 4, and it's a very specific script. I don't often use a lot of scripts, but this particular one works very effectively, and there are only a few lines with it, so you should be able to write them down. The first thing is to make that eye contact, to smile at someone, and then to say, "Hi, how are you doing? My name's Karen." And then you're going to talk a little bit. Maybe you're standing in line at the grocery store and you're saying, do you shop here often? Do you come here often? Do you particularly like this grocery store? You may talk about the weather when you meet somebody. You may compliment them on something that they're wearing. Hey, I really like that jacket that you're wearing. Where did you get it? That sort of a compliment literally opens up their ears. When someone's complimented, they become open to what you're saying. If a smile comes across their face, you know that their arms uncrossed and they're willing to listen and hear what you say after you've complimented them. So you may, in that short conversation, compliment them. But the first script line that you say is, hi or hello, how are you doing? My name's Karen. And then you get into a little bit of a back and forth chatting, back and forth on, based on where you are and where you're interacting with this person. If you're at the gym, have you have a membership here, or is this your first time here? How often do you come? What classes do you like? Do you use a personal trainer who, so you get into some conversation. And then, after you've had a little bit of conversation, the second scripted line that you ask is, you seem like a sharp guy or gal. What do you do for a living? Okay, so the first one is, hi, how are you doing? My name's Karen. The second line is, you seem like a sharp guy or gal. What do you do for a living? And then they're going to respond to that. They're going to, tell you something. And the next line, you have to get out fairly rapidly, because if you ask the question, what do you do, they'll answer it, and then they'll immediately ask you, what do you do? So the next statement, you'll find that you have to respond with fairly rapidly. So if they say, I'm a teacher, you're going to immediately go into line number 3. Okay? So line number 2 is, you seem like a sharp guy or gal. What do you do for a living? They answer, I'm a plumber. You're going to say, wow, in this economy, how's that going for you? Okay, so you notice these are all questions. So it's keeping the other person engaged. So it's, wow, in this economy, how's that going for you? And a lot of people will come back with, it's challenging, or our company's downsizing, or we're working our way through it, or it's difficult, or, it's been a real struggle this time of the year. You'll get a variety of different answers, but usually they tend to be somewhat frustration or a negative sort of a thing that's going on within their current occupation, just based on the way you've asked that question. And then after they're finished talking, you're going to say, are you open to ways of turning that around? So after they've dumped whatever the response to that, wow, in this economy, how's that going for you, you're going to come back with, are you open to ways of turning that around? And if they say yes, then you're going to get their information, and you may say something as simple as, you know what, jot your name down on the back of this business card, and I'll give you a call. I need to finish my workout, I need to get the groceries and get home, the kids need to go here or there, whatever it is, but you're not looking to give them the whole pitch on it. All you're looking to do is start a conversation with them, start the development of a relationship, because that's what it's about. When you're dealing with people that you don't know, it's about building a relationship. So if you continue on and tell them everything there is to know about Zisha, at that point, you haven't really built any relationship. You've only had a short conversation. It may only be 2 or 3 minutes long at this point. And so you want to continue that relationship. So rather than giving them the whole spiel, you are just going to get them to jot their name and number down, or hand them a business card, or you can hand them one of our success magazines for them to take a look at. But you want to follow back up with them. That's ultimately what you're attempting to do. And so you'll notice the word jot. So I didn't say write down your name, or I've said jot your name down, because again, that's a very informal, they're not going to feel threatened by it, terminology. So again, put in your notes, jot is a great way of asking somebody for their number. Rather than saying, can you give me your number? They're going to be hesitant, but if you say, can you jot your name and number down, you'd be surprised. Or can you jot down your email address, and I'll send some files. However you want to address that. You can, in some cases, give your 30-minute story at that point if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to. I always believe less is more. If you can get their name or their contact information, then move on, and the next conversation, you're furthering the relationship. And that's really, like I said, what this business is all about. If I don't know if any of you have read Jeffrey Gitomer's line of books, and he is an absolute guru on sales. And one of his philosophies is that all things being equal, people will do business with friends and family and people that they know. And think about it, we all do that. If you need a plumber and you don't know one, you start asking people, who do they know? Does anybody know a plumber? You're looking for a connection to a plumber. And that's ultimately, whenever we're buying anything, we're looking to do it with friends and relationships and connections, because that's just our tendency as human beings. And so you're trying to develop that relationship with someone that you don't know so that they will be willing to move forward and either get into business with you or become a customer of your products. And so ultimately that's the process that you're going through for the 3-foot rule skill. So I'm going to go through those questions again. Hi, how are you doing? My name's Karen. And then allow them to chit-chat with you a little bit based on where you are. And then come back with, you seem like a sharp guy or gal. What do you do for a living? And as soon as they finish answering that, quickly go into, wow, in this economy, how's that going for you? And then as they start to talk about some of the negatives that are going on, because you set the stage with that question for that to come out, then you're going to say to them, are you open to ways of turning that around? So hopefully this is helpful. It is a skill. The 3-foot rule is a skill that you're able to interact with anybody at any point in time. And so I challenge you not only to add that diamond trait to your goal list, but also to practice steps 1, 2, and 3. For some of you, that'll be the stretch, to even make eye contact and smile and say hello to strangers. And for some of you, you can go right through to step 4 and try the script that I've gave you. And then, once you've developed the skill, you will then decide each and every week how many people are you going to do that to each and every day. Now, some of you will work from your office, so you're not out and about on every single day, so that you're able to do this. So you're going to have to schedule it within your calendar on the days that maybe you're going to the bank, maybe you're going to pick up groceries, maybe you're going to be taking one of your kids to the doctor's office. And for me, I'm headed to Toronto, so I'll be in the presence of other individuals today. And so today is a great day for me to be able to do the 3-foot rule. So encourage you to then add it to your daily method of operation. So you're doing so many outbound phone calls, you're doing so many 3-ways, you're getting so many of the fit packs out, and you're doing so many 3-foot rules. And then track it and reward the activity. So if you say that you're going to do 10 of the 3-foot rules tomorrow when you're out and about, then all you do is track how many did I do. Did I do all 10 of them? Not what happens as a result of you doing them, but the fact that you did them. That's what you track, and that's what you reward, because the activity will lead to satisfying all the goals that you have on your goal board. So I'm going to be off to Toronto. For those of you that know anybody in the Toronto area, we're doing a presentation tonight out by the airport, and would love to have those that have contacts certainly have them out to that event. It's at the Sheraton on Dixon Road out at the airport starting at 7:30 tonight. So let's open it up and see if we've got any comments, questions, or any other events that are taking place in the next few days. Hold on here.